slowly but surely, the days when UN ambassadors reflexively condemn Israel, those days are coming to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, today's automatic majority against Israel at the UN reminds me of the story, the incredible story of Hiro Onoda. Hiro was a Japanese soldier who was sent to the Philippines in 1944. He lived in the jungle. He scavenged for food. He evaded capture. Eventually he surrendered, but that didn't happen until 1974, some 30 years after World War II ended. For decades, Hiro refused to believe the war was over. As Hiro was hiding in the jungle, Japanese tourists were swimming in pools in American luxury hotels in nearby Manila. Finally, mercifully, Hiro's former commanding officer was sent to persuade him to come out of hiding. Only then did Hiro lay down his arms. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates from so many lands, I have one message for you today. Lay down your arms. The war against Israel at the UN is over. Perhaps some of you don't know it yet, but I'm confident that one day, in the not too distant future, you will also get the message from your president or from your prime minister informing you that the war against Israel at the United Nations has ended. Yes, I know, there might be a storm before the calm. I know there's talk about ganging up on Israel at the UN later this year. Given its history of hostility towards the UN, or towards Israel rather, does anyone really believe that Israel will let the UN determine our security and our vital national interests? We will not accept any attempt by the UN to dictate terms to Israel. The road to peace runs through Jerusalem and Ramallah, not through New York. But regardless of what happens in the months ahead, I have total confidence that in the years ahead, the revolution in Israel's standing among the nations will finally penetrate this hall of nations. I have so much confidence, in fact, that I predict that a decade from now, an Israeli prime minister will stand right here where I'm standing and actually applaud the UN. But I want to ask you, why do we have to wait a decade? Why keep vilifying Israel? Perhaps because some of you don't appreciate that the obsessive bias against Israel is not just a problem for my country, it's a problem for your countries too. Because if the UN spends so much time condemning the only liberal democracy in the Middle East, it has far less time to address war, disease, poverty, climate change, and all the other serious problems that plague the planet. Are the 500,000 slaughtered Syrians helped by your condemnation of Israel? The same Israel that has treated thousands of injured Syrians in our hospitals, including a field hospital that I built right along the Golan Heights border with Syria. Are the gays hanging from cranes in Iran helped by your denigration of Israel? That same Israel where gays march proudly in our streets and serve in our parliament, including, I'm proud to say, in my own Likud party? Are the starving children in North Korea's brutal tyranny, are they helped by your demonization of Israel? Israel, whose agricultural know-how is feeding the hungry throughout the developing world? The sooner the UN's obsession with Israel ends, the better. The better for Israel, the better for your countries, the better for the UN itself.